If you're looking for a family-friendly museum with something for everybody, then I gotta put you on the Claremont Collections Automotive Museum. Claremont Collection houses over 300 rare and classic automobiles, everything from horseless carriages to modern muscle cars. Chicago's only automotive museum is open Wednesday through Sunday from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. And bonus, they got free parking. They also welcome school field trips. Now's the time to take advantage with 50% off annual memberships in February. Head to ClaremontCollections.com for tickets and get your discounted membership today. A Little Slice of Life is coming to Paramount Theater with the Chicago area premiere of Waitress, February 12th through March 30th. Now, in case you're not familiar with the Tony-nominated musical, here's what you gotta know. Waitress Jenna is on a mission to bake her way out of troubles, but can she find the secret recipe to her life? It's the kind of show that'll melt your heart during these cold winter days. Get your tickets today at ParamountAurora.com or call 630-896-6666. Use promo code CityCast for $5 off up to 4 tickets. Today on CityCast Chicago, while some gyms, yoga studios, and cycling classes might be packed at the beginning of the new year, by now, it's probably dropped off a little bit. And maybe you kind of like me and you're part of that group that fell off a little. Look, I get it. It's hard as hell to work out, especially during the winter in Chicago. So that's why I've brought in one of my favorite fitness directors for a realistic guide to how she works out in the city. It's Thursday, February 6th. I'm Jacoby Cochran, and this is what Chicago's talking about. I'm joined by fitness director and personal trainer, Seobia Rivers. Welcome to CityCast Chicago, my friend.
Thank you for having me, Jacoby.
Seobia, I have been to your circuit training classes in Pilsen. You have taught cardio kickboxing from the South Side to Garfield Park. How long have you been teaching fitness classes in and around the city?
I've been teaching classes for 14 years, actually. I started back in college at Illinois State, yes, and then after college came back to Chicago, and I've been teaching all over the city.
The first couple of months of the year, we know about the resolutions to move a little more. The gyms can get a little extra packed. I know at my gym, the yoga classes, the cycling classes were really filled up over the last few weeks. But in your experience, what are some of the most common reasons people either lapse on their movement or workout goals or find it hard to stay consistent early in the year?
People overdo it. They do too much. They are unrealistic with their approach to fitness and wellness, and they just think, all right, tomorrow I'm going to start working out 5 days a week. And that creates burnout, and it's not sustainable. So people really have to look at their schedule, look at their lifestyle, and see what is truly realistic for them and plan accordingly. I think it's best to start small and then build on to that.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of getting intimidated fast, I know for a lot of people, whether they are in like a chain gym or even like a community fitness center, like getting there can get overwhelming. You see a lot of people who are maybe there consistently. You maybe don't know the best regiments or the best way to use the machines. So let's start off with talking about maybe your favorite ways for people to get a free workout in before they start paying for annual and monthly subscriptions.
Yeah, so the good thing about the beginning of the year is that gyms, they have all these sales going on. They're trying to get people in the door. So a lot of places have where you can get the first week for free, or you can get a certain amount of classes for a discounted rate. And there's also a lot of free groups that have fitness offerings. So one that comes to mind is the Peace Runner 773 out West in Garfield Park. They have free workouts every Saturday where you can choose to run, you can choose to walk, and then they also have a strength workout right after. So that's an option. I know Core Power, I just found out in South Loop, they have a free community class every Sunday at 11:30, which is great. There's also another run club called Chicago Run Club, and you'd have to, right? You have to follow them on Instagram to figure out where they meet up every week. But that is something that is free every Saturday as well.
As somebody who like works out a lot on your own, but also teaches classes. What do you think is beneficial about like these running clubs, for example, that like get a bunch of people together, or these free community courses?
Yeah, I mean, you said it. It's community. It's getting people together. It's like-minded individuals that have maybe similar goals. It's always nice to, I don't want to say always, but it's good to be with other people, friends. Maybe you want to meet new people. That's a great way to do it.
A lot of these running clubs, I imagine they are outside. Do you find it easy to work out, whether it's running or doing strength training outdoors during the winter?
Well, yeah, we're in Chicago, so you never know what we're going to get on the weather. It's best to plan accordingly to the weather. So we got to bundle up. If you know it's going to be cold, do what you need to do. Get your gloves, wear your leggings, put sweats over it, have your hat for sure. Make sure your ears, your hands, your feet are warm, and you're going to be good. You start moving and you warm up, and people will be fine. It's not always easy, but, we can do hard things.
So when you do start thinking about some of your favorite gyms or places to work out, what are a couple on your list?
So Phenomenal Fitness for sure in South Loop. You have Haji Healing Salon. That's in Bronzeville. That's where you can go for yoga, meditation classes, breath work. I love Fit Results. That's also in South Loop.
Mm-hmm.
G Fit is in South Loop as well. V Body Power Fitness. That's in Hyde Park. And also Train Moment, and they have a few locations around the city.
Mm-hmm. You've taught classes in Garfield Park and Pilsen. What are some places you taught that may not be advertised as a gym, but also still hold some fitness classes?
So I know Healthy Hood I'm not for sure, but Healthy Hood, we used to offer fitness and dance classes. I believe they still have some on the schedule. So I would say Healthy Hood Chicago is something, a place that people can look up and see what they have. And I would say look into park districts.
Mm-hmm.
Park districts usually have some kind of fitness offerings, classes that people can attend, usually free or at a low cost.
Facts. I think one of the things that maybe keeps a lot of people from working out, because even if I just think about it, a few of the things we've talked about already, whether it's circuit training, whether it's, running, or even like high intensity walking, some people be like, that's not for me. So when you think about fun ways to get a little bit of movement in your routine, what are some of the best ways you'd encourage people to move that isn't just like lifting a bunch of weights or running outside?
I've been seeing these trampoline classes that are happening at V-Body Power Fitness. That looks fun. There's also a aerial fitness gym called Air, and you hang from these silks. I can't fully explain it, but
I've seen those before. It's like,
you know what I'm talking about? It's a hammock kind of.
Exactly. It's almost like two different like long silk scarves.
Yes. Yeah, no, it's fun. I've done it a few times, and it's different. I feel like a lot of people have never tried it. So that's a great way to switch it up. I also really like the different classes that are offered at a place called Harbor 82. It's owned by a woman named Anaya, and it's in South Loop right there in Roosevelt Collection. Mm-hmm. She has a lot of fun dance classes on the schedule, and the music is always really good. And also, it's a woman named Tot. She teaches Zumba classes. She pops up and does the classes. I'm not sure if it's consistent right now, but her classes are so fun. And she also teaches at Core Power as well. But I would tell people to consider how they like to move, mm-hmm. and find classes that align with that, or just look up classes. And if it's something that you've never tried, try it out and see how you like it.
What's up, y'all? I got a couple quick questions for you. Have you ever wanted to learn how to make your own book plate? What about study the history of flamenco? Maybe take a writing workshop? Well, you can explore your curiosity at the Newberry Library by taking an adult education class this winter. The classes are led by experts, and they're available online, if you're trying to learn in your pajamas, or in person if you're trying to go out, learn, and meet some new friends potentially. Adult education classes at the Newberry can help you jumpstart or elevate your learning. I got a couple more examples if you ain't convinced yet. You can reinterpret historical photographs of Native Americans, learn about the ins and outs of translation, and so much more about music, history, literature, and art. Adult education has been a tradition at the Newberry since the 1890s, so don't wait. Register now at newberry.org. Just click on Learn and Adult Education classes to get started. Plus, enter promo code CityCast to get a 10% discount on your class. That's newberry.org, promo code CityCast. I know our executive producer, Simone Ali, said does a lot of rock climbing as a part of her fitness workouts as well. And so it's a lot of different options in and around the city that people are taking advantage of. If you're somebody who absolutely hates the idea of cardio, but wants to, get your workout routine up a little bit this year, what are some ways people could incorporate that into their calendar?
Yeah, well, I would say, first of all, cardio is great for us. It's great for our heart. So I want to challenge those cardio haters to have a change of heart. No pun intended. Yeah, just to explore some cardio options. But if that is really not your thing, it's not really my thing either. I would say to try out more strength-focused workouts. So I know Train Moment, they have more strength-focused offerings that people can check out. And say, for instance, F45, they have a mixture of cardio-focused classes, hybrid classes, more strength-focused. So, looking at the schedule and seeing, okay, this class is a little less cardio. Let me go for that one.
And then if we're thinking about people who have mobility limitations, what are some different ways they can incorporate some movement and some exercise as well?
If you're having any kind of mobility challenges, issues, that most classes and most class instructors should be able to give you options to do, no matter what level or where you're at on the mobility scale. I would suggest Pilates. And there's one place that I love. It's called Tab Pilates. It's on the South Side, and she's just an expert at teaching Pilates, and she does a great job at working with beginners and breaking things down. And also, she's so well versed in all the different mobility issues. And so I would suggest Pilates by Tab Pilates on the South Side, and also other Pilates classes and yoga.
If one of the spots that we mentioned isn't close to somebody who's listening, how would you suggest people go about looking for a gym or a class just in their neighborhood?
I would say use your friendly Google search. You can Google workouts in my area or workout classes in my area. And you can also maybe look on ClassPass. That's also another option for either free. They have free trials, or they also offer different packages that can be at a low cost. And that app will show you what's around your area depending on, the radius that you put in.
I used ClassPass last year to get a deal on maybe like 5 or 6 yoga classes. And then, of course, like everything, I canceled that free trial, buddy. Can't get stuck paying no subscription. We gave people a ton of options today. But if, folks really want to stay consistent over the next few months, what are some tips you would give them? And how many days a week should I be trying to move my body, whether it's in a class, getting a good walk in, or if I, go jump on the trampoline?
Yeah. So, if you're going from 0 to wanting to add in fitness and movement, I would say start with once a week, right? Pick a class that you are interested in, that you want to try out, and go there once a week. And also, I think a lot of us get caught up in, I need to go in the gym and lift, or I need to get on the treadmill. Like you mentioned, you can simply walk. We can think about exercising as moving our bodies. So maybe it's taking the stairs more often, or if you're in a car, you're going to the grocery store, park far from the entrance, just thinking about ways you can get more steps and more movement in. Maybe it's even in the morning, you're taking time to stretch for 5 to 10 minutes. But you want to start small and then build from there. I think, again, starting once a week, if you're getting consistent with that once a week, then add on.
Once the weather starts to turn and it's a little bit easier for more people to be outside, what are some of your favorite places around the city to, whether it's hosting a class outside or just, being outdoors?
Yeah, I love the lakefront. Love the lake, love all the different beach locations. Love those spots. Also, in Jackson Park, there's a Japanese garden, but then there's also another space like down the street from it in Jackson Park. It's lots of flowers when it's that time of the year, and it's usually open grass area. Sun is shining. That's one of my favorite spots.
Do you use the like pop-up gyms that are in and around the lakefront, the ones with like all of the monkey bars?
I don't personally, but that is definitely a great option for people. I'll
Hmm.
say that a lot of spaces too offer free or even low cost fitness classes when the warm weather pops off. So I'm thinking about Southside Sanctuary. That's on 47th and King Drive. They have a outdoor space now where they offer yoga. I've taught my cardio kickboxing class there. I've taught my circuit training class there, breath work there. I would say Southside Sanctuary and also Boxville.
Hmm.
Boxville usually offers some free fitness classes when the weather permits as well.
Are there any red flags that you look for in new fitness classes or instructors that you would tell people to be on the lookout for? Because I know I might go to a new class and just be like, oh no, they just push me real hard. They just work us real hard. But what are the red flags I should be looking out for?
You want to make sure that you have an instructor that can provide modifications. So if
Mhm.
you're telling your instructor, hey, I have knee problems, and they're not giving you any other options, that's a red flag. You need to not enter their classroom ever again. You want to make sure that their language and tone is not offensive to you or
Mhm.
even maybe offensive to anybody else in the room. Like using language like, yeah, we're getting our bikini bodies ready. That's kind of cringy. So yeah, just be mindful of the language that they're using. And if it's rubbing you the wrong way, there's other classes to go to.
I really appreciate that. How do you encourage people to not get caught up in what is not simply like social media pressure, but I just think social pressure in general to be striving for, especially at this time where people are putting all these countdowns up, sort of striving for this ideal body for summer. Like how do you encourage people to like give themselves grace in this process and also to lean away from, just some of the toxic gym and workout rhetoric?
It's very easy to get caught up in social media and what people look like, but that's all smoke and mirrors.
Hmm.
Like people are taking the pictures at their best angle and they're sucking in their stomach. They're doing all these things to have the perfect picture online. So you can't always believe what you see. So I would tell people to put their blinders on and focus in on themselves. Remind yourself that you can do hard things and you're gonna be good. And also surround yourself with people too who are going to encourage you. And if you don't have the people around you, be sure to encourage yourself. Journaling. I like to write on my mirror in my bathroom. I like right now I have one day at a time on my mirror.
Mm.
And also I have don't waver. Don't waver. Because I think a lot of the times too we can get discouraged when we're not consistent and so we easily fall off. So it's okay to drop off one day for a week, a month, but you got to get back to it and don't waver. We've created these goals for ourselves. Stick to it, be flexible and go.
Mm. What do you love about fitness in general, but also bringing people into this world, particularly in Chicago?
I love teaching fitness classes because I love the people. I am an encourager myself. It is a way for me to encourage people to live a healthy lifestyle. It's a way for us to have fun together. It's a way to build community. I've met so many people through teaching my classes and I learn a lot from them. They learn from me. We learn from each other. So I'll also say I love the creative freedom of it.
Mm.
At least with my classes, like I can curate the experience and the space the songs, with the movement, with my words. It's really a creative playground for me, and it allows me to I won't say tap into my artist side, but I believe everybody is an artist in their own way. But it's one of my outlets for my artistic expression.
I don't think I've ever had anybody explain it to me that way. I've taken a bunch of classes and have had so many great fitness instructors, so many friends who have like led movement work, but I've never thought about the idea of curating it for a group of people beyond the music and the workout routines that you offer people. I really like how you said that.
Yeah, thank you. And I love too, people are getting together, we're sharing information as well. Mm-hmm. So people come, I'm giving announcements, I'll open it up for people to give announcements, and it's just a great way to meet people and learn about things you may not have known about.
Like every guy we put together on the podcast, it is not complete without your suggestions. So if you got some classes, some places you like to work out in the city, some gyms you want to put us on, then please let us know at 773-780-0246. Leave us a text or a voicemail with your name, your neighborhood, and the suggestion you want to put us on too. Please join me again in thanking our guest today, personal trainer and fitness director, Seobia Rivers. Always good talking to you, my friend.
Thank you. Always good talking to you too.
Before we get out of here, make sure you bookmark our website, chicago.citycast.fm. There you can sign up for our daily newsletter, Hey Chicago. Check out our latest articles, which we're updating almost every single day. And you can run through our events calendar and write something down for yourself either this week or this weekend for you, your friends, your family, just something to get you outside. Speaking of outside, let's talk about some good news. The Chicago Botanic Gardens Orchid Show India Bloom starts this Saturday. Over 10,000 blooms to see, a floor-to-ceiling peacock, and a weekend orchid place. Check the link in the show notes for more details and specific times for things like their After Dark series. As always, we appreciate you for listening and reading. We're going to be back bright and early tomorrow. We'll talk to you then. Peace.